So you want to be a wedding photographer, but how do you get someone to trust you with their most special day? You don't know anyone getting married, maybe you haven't even been to a wedding before, but there's just something about weddings that gets you excited. Being invited to capture an emotion-filled, momentous celebration where you get to utilize multiple photography genres like documentary, fashion, product, and portraiture. What a cool job.
But how do you get started? How do you book your first gig? In this video, we'll be sharing 3 tips to help you land that all-important first booking, and none of them have anything to do with gear or building a website. We've also got a beginner's guide to booking your first wedding, which you can download, but more on that soon.
You know that saying, it's not what you know, but who you know? The older we get, the truer that saying feels. So often the opportunity that you're looking for is going to come from a connection that you have. No matter how talented you are, it's not going to get you any closer to that goal of becoming a wedding photographer, unless you start actively seeking out an opportunity to photograph a wedding. So if you're looking to get started in weddings, our first tip is to ask. Start asking friends and family if they know anyone getting married. You could also ask in Facebook groups or shout out on Instagram. Just start putting it out there, and if you're willing, mention that you're happy to shoot for free or for a small fee. All you need is one yes to get things moving.
Yes. Yes. Say it again. Yes. Yes. Make me believe it. Yes, yes, yes.
When I think back to the first wedding that I ever captured, I'm pretty sure it was for my friend's brother. She knew I was into photography and she asked if I could just bring my camera along to the ceremony and take a few photos. It was like bright midday sun on a beach. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but I was just trying to capture what was happening. I think the next wedding was for a friend of my cousin, and I think I went in with a bit more of a game plan, but again, I was just capturing whatever I could just to make sure I could tell the story and, you know, make sure I was there for like the key moments of the kiss and the ceremony and moving around and really doing my best. But again, not really having an idea of what I was doing.
Thinking back to my first experience of photographing weddings was around the time when a few friends of mine were getting married. They'd actually booked another photographer like I was pretty early on in my photography journey, but they just invited me along to the wedding to capture a few candidates here and there. They were just keen for, you know, just another kind of angle of the day, and so that was kind of my first experience of shooting weddings and seeing how a few other photographers approach shooting weddings. So after attending a couple of these weddings, a few friends reached out to see if I would want to shoot their wedding. Yeah, that was just my first real experience photographing weddings on my own.
Then our first wedding together was for a friend of Trent's. Yeah, you just knew them through some other jobs you'd been doing, and they knew we were photographers and were happy to give us a shot.
So just look for any opportunity to put yourself out there and put yourself in front of people that might be looking for a wedding photographer.
It's really up to you to make your own break and find that opportunity.
Okay, so maybe you managed to photograph a wedding or two, but you're still feeling pretty inexperienced. You've actually realised there's a lot of pressure when it comes to photographing weddings, with so many pivotal moments only happening once. Maybe some imposter syndrome starts to kick in and you're wondering if you're doing things right. Maybe you're not feeling any of this and you're feeling super confident. That's awesome. But if you're feeling like you'd like to build up experience quickly and alleviate some anxiety, our next tip would be to second shoot for other photographers.
Start contacting some photographers whose work you admire. Or if you happen to have any connections to a wedding photographer, you could reach out to them and ask if you can assist or second shoot at a wedding. We get a handful of emails from photographers and videographers, and some advice we can offer is to really personalize the email. Please don't write a generic email and send all to all the photographers you can think of. Your chances of getting a reply are really slim. Spend some time, find out the photographer's first name, look through their website and portfolio, and have a think about how you can really give something of value back to them. And think about how you can serve them. You're asking for a chance, for an opportunity, for some experience, but what can you give that photographer in return? Some ideas are to offer to assist, to carry their bags. You could film some behind the scenes on your phone, maybe even create a reel for them. Think about what is going to bring value to them and really be of benefit to them while you're there. Even if you don't take a single photo that you can show after the day, just the opportunity to see how somebody else works on a wedding day can be invaluable. And if in turn you can bring some value to the photographer you're assisting and they have a great experience with you, they're more likely to give you another opportunity at another wedding, maybe even a paid opportunity to second shoot, or the potential to refer you work when they're not available. The key is to focus on giving rather than taking and building a relationship.
Building relationships has to be one of the most underrated strategies when it comes to reaching your goals as a wedding photographer and in life in general. Honestly, we wish we had prioritized this sooner in our journey. Taking the time to find community and connect with other photographers and other creatives in the wedding world is completely priceless. The biggest tip is to make friends and connect with other people in the industry.
Reach out and think again about how you can bring value and build genuine relationships. When you're not shooting a wedding, the work life of a wedding photographer can be pretty isolating. So it's really nice to have friends who get it and who you can co-work with sometimes. Once others know, like, and trust you, they're also more likely to refer you work, and you can return the favour and refer them work when you're unavailable. If you're unsure where to look for friends, you could try Facebook groups, maybe Instagram, or think about attending an in-person workshop or invest in some online education where you know there is a community space or group coaching. In our first year of shooting weddings together, we invested in an in-person workshop. I think we'd photographed 2 weddings, and this workshop was just the perfect timing for us. We learned heaps at the workshop, but we also made friends. And these friendships have lasted for years and years, and we still refer each other work to this day.
Now for a bonus tip that leads perfectly from what we've been talking about. Once you've established some connections, maybe you've made friends with a florist or a makeup artist, or you've been chatting to a bridal designer whose pieces you adore. A great option for building your portfolio, especially when you haven't photographed many weddings before, is to organise a styled shoot.
If you've never heard of a styled shoot before, it's essentially a free or small budget photo shoot that comes together through collaboration, where everyone donates their time or resources for the cause of creating work they love, in exchange for photos or videos that they can use for marketing. The idea is to create inspirational wedding imagery that you will want to share everywhere and showcases what you're capable of. There is so much to cover when it comes to planning a styled shoot, so we will be taking a deep dive into planning and executing an impactful styled shoot in an upcoming video. So definitely subscribe if that has piqued your interest. We can't wait to take you behind the scenes. We mentioned earlier that we have a special guide for you that we've put together that lays out the steps to help you book your very first wedding. You can download this guide via the link in the description.
To recap, if we were just starting out, the most valuable advice we could receive is to ask, assist, and connect. Ask friends and family if they know anyone that is getting married, and ask them to put in a good word for you so you can get your first taste of wedding photography.
Assist other photographers who are doing what you want to be doing so that you can gain some experience. Think about how you can serve and offer value, then reach out. Focus on giving, not taking.
Connect with others in the industry, make friends, and find community. Consider organising a styled shoot to showcase what you can do and start building your portfolio.
We hope you found this video helpful. If you did, we'd love for you to leave a comment or hit that like button. If you're brand new to wedding photography, we think you'll get a lot out of this video where we share some tips for posing and directing couples.